Right, so because I changed my mind and we did an extra lesson on hypothesis testing yesterday, Thursday, this leaves us with this one odd lesson before half term, and I don't really want to start anything new. So what I've done is I've gone to Maths Genie and I've downloaded their sets of questions on the two big things that we've covered in these last few weeks. Discrete random variables, which includes binomial, and hypothesis testing. And I downloaded their sets of questions and put those on class charts along with the solutions and something else that I'll explain in a minute. So this is optional really for those of you wanting extra practice over half term. For those of you who are behind, concentrate on catching up, and in particular making sure you've submitted the work that Mr. Gobber and I have asked for recently. But for those of you who are well ahead and on top of things, and you know, well done if you've managed to stay in that position, then here's something extra just to keep you sort of ticking over with over half term. And in looking at the discrete random variable questions, which I've got in front of me here, I realised that I don't think I covered something when we did it. I don't think I covered a cumulative probability distribution. So I'm just going to very quickly do that now, and I apologise that I missed it at the time. So hopefully you'll be able to work out the value of A. We know that when we have a discrete random variable, that's something that can take these values. We know that the probabilities all have to add up to 1, and so for that reason the missing value is 0.25. There you go, I'll give you that one for nothing. The probability that x is greater than 1.2, well, that's a rather odd question, isn't it? Because it can't be 1.2. But the only values in the table which are bigger than 1.2 are 2 and 3. So those two probabilities together add up to 0.55. And a cumulative distribution, well, this is what the table looks like. Rather than saying what's the probability that x is equal to a particular value, we're saying what's the probability that x is less than or equal to a particular value. So we're basically adding up as we go along, like a cumulative frequency table. So the probability of getting 0 is still 0.2, but the probability of getting less than or equal to 1 is 0.45. And the probability of getting less than or equal to 2 is 0.75. And this value, the last value in the table, will always be 1. It has to be. So that's a cumulative probability distribution. So you should find those, that set of questions on discrete random variables, there they are, should find them fairly straightforward. There are solutions as well. And then the second set of questions are on the binomial and hypothesis testing. And what I've done is I've also attached a little PDF with some hints, just pointing out what sort of question those 7 questions are. So that refers to the binomial distribution and hypothesis testing questions. I've just put those hints in. You might not need those, you might decide to have a go and then look at the hints. But that's just a little bit of guidance to remind you when it's a one-tail test, when it's a two-tail test, and things like that. Have a great half term whilst still staying safe, and I look forward to starting up again after half term. We are going to crack on with a bit of probability, looking at Venn diagrams. All good fun. Take care.